My name's Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire Downfall. We're going to be going in with the champ at Ascension 7, working up towards the 11s for everyone. Arise. Obtain a random rare card, start trying to build around it. Obtain a curse for transforming 2 cards is not really appealing to me at all. A random common relic? I could be convinced quite easily. Our max elite path is 3 elites, but that's probably not going to be a super clever path for us to take, given the no midline rests, very few question marks, very few shops. It's just a lot of fights to go through end on end. So my guess would be we're going to go for 2 of the earlier elites and then cut out. Oh, but I guess we'll go to here and then decide if we can go for another elite before we go for the rest. Random rare. That was Hold Firm. Gain 15 counter, 10 block, and 1 blur. All right, pretty pleased with that pickup. It's a good one. Being able to choose the stance we enter is pretty nice. 5 more block and 5 more counter is also really good. And also, there is a world where we have the ability to duplicate that relatively early on. In that world, I would very much like to have a super valuable card that we want to duplicate. Okay. Cool, cool. Figured we'd get pretty close to the kill there, if not all the way. Encircle, Crooked Strike, and Adrenal Armor. Now, Hold Firm doesn't really require that I go into a defensive build. It does have counter on it, but it doesn't require me to have defensive stance or anything like that in order to activate it. So I could easily start taking things like Encircled. Try and build out that way. Encircle's real powerful. Okay. Okay. 15 counter 1 block. I mean, means I won't have to defend next turn. Sure. Aggressive. Defensive stance. Dang. Not the one I was hoping for. Okay, but thankfully we have lethal in the next turn as well. Molotov as well as Fan of Knives. Berserker combo deals damage twice, deals 5 damage to all enemies. It also enters Berserker for us. So that's some AoE for our Berserker build, as well as another Berserker entry. I kind of want to go to the shop. That would actually just be for a removal at this point, wouldn't it? Molotov's pretty fine. I'm almost certainly going to end up fighting either the Gremlin Knob or the Lagavulin. In fact, if I fight 2 elites, it's guaranteed that I'm going to be able to fight one of those 2. Okay. Ooh. Let's enter Berserker and actually get the bonus out of Encircle there. Lovely. You simply love to see it. Sure, hit him with a taunt. Why not? Shame we didn't have Hold Firm for that turn. Would have been some good damage while we were defending. Exit stance, enter another stance. So I can try and deal a little bit of damage here. And do we have another Encircle? We do. 43 damage. Again, not the best I've ever dealt to the Merchant on the first meeting, but certainly not the least. Second copy of Encircle already takes us into just like gain strength. Multi-hit, another multi-hit. It just takes us into gain strength, and that's it kind of as a build. Fine. I like simple builds like that. Vicious Mockery. Berserker combo gain 3 temporary strength. Upgrades to 5 temporary strength. Ooh. I haven't really run Vicious Mockery, but I like the idea. Would I? I would not be able to get that as well as a card removal. Screw it, I'm doing it. Ooh, baby. Oh, no, wait, I haven't got... I need to... Can't even get into Berserk. No, and I can't even hit the front line. Ugh. I need one of those random hits to hit the front line if I wanted to not take any damage there. Okay, Berserker, then the Berserker combo. See, once we're in Berserker, we're good. Can I find a Berserker entry here? Lariat. We are going to need another defend. We're also going to want a defend that is going to not be too defensive. It's going to be versatile to be used outside of a defensive kind of situation. So that's what we're getting from that there. Not super jazzed about that, but if we get hold firm right now, maybe it's okay. Oh, that was what was... I was like, why do I look so dark? I forgot to turn the lights on that I'm supposed to be using for recording. That seems like it could help if we did that. Really? Well... I think I'm just going to have to take the 15 here. It's fine. Hold firm with the blur is always going to be good the turn and the turn after, so it's not too bad. Taunt being at the bottom of the first deck is a little bit unfortunate. Fan of knives for the giant AoE. Sure. Weaken them all and enter defensive. Because now if I use a finisher, I'm going to be defending myself. The density of defense in this deck is quite low, so would be pretty happy to have that happen. Kill the backliner with a finisher right now. Didn't exactly get what I was asking for. That's okay. Please allow me to kill the backliner next turn, otherwise it's not okay anymore. Thank you. Execute at the very bottom of the deck. Ugh. Ugh. There you go. We got hold firm. This will be 6 and then 18. 6/18 is lethal. Six, 18, 24. We had 16 extra damage, didn't we? Yeah, that previous turn could have been a lot better. Anchor, ignore pain, perfected strike, as well as circumvent. Ignore pain. Your HP cannot be reduced until your next turn. I like it. Right? HP's not reduced, but I still gain fatigue, giving me the ability to heal at the end of the fight. I'm pretty sure that's how that one works. Ceramic fish this early? It's a good amount of money. At least we're in Berserker stance already. Yeah. We're going to have to hold firm in circle or something like this. All on the back line now. All right. If we get Fan of Knives next turn, we have the kills. All's well that ends well on that one. We've got to take the Berserker shout. Entering Berserker is like one of the biggest things we have difficulty with, and as soon as we get into it, we're having a good time. I'm going to throw the Soul Burn on the enemy. Oh my god. I'm actually going to give them... Yeah, I think I'm going to give them the vulnerability. I think we're starting. Because that gets us into Berserker. That gives us extra strength while in Berserker. And then... get him to half HP. I am more than happy to ultra defend that turn. Circle again, and then have him die. Good fight. Defensive thesis. Defensive stance's finisher bonus gives more block. Not really hoping that one's going to be too relevant for us. On guard. No, not while Adrenal Armor is still out there. I think I will go for the extra elite here as well. Especially with the anchor for the 10 block on turn 1. I'm pretty pleased with this as a method for us. Cool. Wanted to make sure that I ended that in Berserker stance for the sake of things such as the Encircle we just played. 15 back on the enemy again, and then Vicious Mockery for a single strike to get the kill. Bottled Technique, as well as Moment of Truth, Flurry of Strikes, and Shatter. Remove the enemy's block before dealing damage. Remove the enemy's block and artifact before dealing damage. That's not very common in terms of the effects that you can get. I'm not really going to be playing slow enough for that to be something I want, though, I think. Technique 5 times, right. Okay. Wowzers! Oh my... Berserker. Viciously mock them. Do I want a technique 5? No, because if I technique 5 times, it's possible I end up dying in this fight. Do I really want to ignore pain this turn? I guess. Guess that makes this Lariat as well. Hmm. 15 back on you. We've got, there we go, 2 Encircles left in the deck. That's what I was looking for. We got our kill, signature finisher. Upon pickup, choose a finisher. This finisher costs 0 and never causes your stance to be exited. Unfortunately, we don't see any extra finishes here. These are all defensive combo. Nothing I'm really going to want to put in the deck either. So I guess that's going to have to make the finisher our signature finisher. Not really how I wanted that one to go, but that's okay. Shouldn't be too problematic. Okay. And so with Berserker Shout, use the Fan of Knives. Really just wanted to kill that frontliner with the random hit there. So yeah, we never have to exit stance with that. Intriguing. Get the counter back on you, and then execute. Adrenal Armor makes sense. Based on everything I keep saying. God, I really want to break the Emerald and then recall here. Watcher on floor 1. How worried do I need to be? My defense is relatively good. I don't think I need to be that worried. I really ought to make sure that I don't take any more damage before we get there, though. If I have the ability at all to heal up as well, that'd be great. Don't love that. Can say beyond a shadow of a doubt that I do not like that. Can I have none of those? Can I have some Lee's Waffle, please, that I can afford? Chemical X, we have a Lariat already in here? Chemical X, we already have a Lariat in here. Yep. That comes along for the ride then. Berserker Shout our way into Double play of that adrenal armor. If I kill that acid slime, I am not weakened, and I've got enough damage and strength right now that we should just be able to clean up. And can do. Perfect. Molotov again. Okay, we'll just throw both of those at the Watcher at the very start. Just to make sure nothing goes too wrong. Actually, no, that'll get him in Wrath first, faster, rather. So if I can avoid that, I should. Not the stance I wanted to be in. Enemy's getting blocked when he hit me. They're getting that fasting up as well. I'll use execute at the end of the turn, so we'll be fine in that regard at the absolute least. It's just, we're on exactly 1 HP now. Alright, soul burn, soul burn. I hope this wasn't too late. Play in circle, and then pop a giant laureate there. Okay, and then the enemy dies this upcoming turn. Great. Not only do they die this upcoming turn, I would have had I not used exactly those on the turn that I did. If I used them a turn earlier, I would have gotten the enemy into Wrath earlier, right? And then they would have killed me. So that was kind of the best of all worlds. Sword Throw, deal 8 damage 2 times. Unless Berserker combo, you can't attack next turn. Upgrades to 8 damage 3 times. That's really good. So is Last Stand here. Can only be played if you're under 50% HP. Remove all debuffs. Gain 6 strength. Removing all debuffs matters a little bit. I'm thinking about the kinds of things that'll enable me. Sorry. I'm thinking about the kinds of things that'll enable me to keep the strength from the Berserker combo. But also, if it's just interim strength from the Berserker combo, I'm kind of fine with that as well. Honestly, like, if I take this Sword Throw, we're kind of done for damage. Encircled, Fan of Knives, the other... Sorry, 2 Encircles, Fan of Knives, Vicious Mockery, as well as Sword Throw. And then past that point, we're looking for ways to defend ourselves in an aggressive deck. I'm comfy doing that. Giving my enemies 1 point of strength is... probably the best play here. Yeah, getting the extra energy is going to matter a hell of a lot so that I can play Ignore Pain and other things on the same turn. Rather than just Ignore Pain and then pass. Like a very expensive apparition. Maximum Elite Path is pretty poor on this one as well. It's literally just the 2 out there. 3 if I want to take it. Definitely break the ruby. So in the circle, 8 by base. Honestly, it's probably Ignore Pain so that it's half of my turn now. We'll execute before we Berserker Shout here. I want to stay in the Berserker Shout mode. Doesn't matter have this blurring over because the enemy is going to be ignoring us this turn. I'm in Berserker stance, so here's what I want to see. I Ignore Pain, and then I cause myself a bunch of fatigue using Laureate. You can see I'm taking no damage, but my fatigue is going up. So at the end of this fight, I'll get that 35 back, and I will have healed. So yes, it looks like this was the correct choice. Yep, So really, really, really good healing there. Requires Berserker, deal damage equal to your fatigue finisher. I don't think I need that. If I have high fatigue, all of my other cards deal a lot more damage as well. I don't think that's required. It's also a finisher, and I don't really want those. Defensive shout, adrenal armor. Okay, we'll take one more adrenal armor. We probably don't really need too much more in this deck at all anymore. This will cast 5 times, getting 25, incoming damage 24. Well, it's 25 by itself. 2 strikes isn't going to put anyone on the ground, though. But it'll get him closer to death. Thank heck we have so many multi-hits here. Oof. Alright, everyone's down to the ground. And then you die. Excellent. And then you die. And then you die. Actually, I could have killed all of them on that turn if I'd used the finisher first. I'm still not used to finishers not ending my turn, so there's a little working in the barriers I need to still do. Speed potion. That is a decent amount of block rest. Backstep's not a bad way to block either, but gets us into defensive, and I don't really want to be there. Shield wall. Gain 2 decks. At the end of each turn, gain 2 counter. I mean, I'm sorry, 9 counter. Adrenal armor. Benefits from that pretty effectively. Yeah, I still kind of don't want to take either of them. Blessing of the Forge to upgrade cards in hand. Meh. Speed potion seems a little more effective, but also we're playing aggressive. I'll drop the speed pot. It's like, I guess I just taunt and see if that gets us into Berserker. It doesn't, so I manually move myself into Berserker. We've got some pretty dense cards in this deck. We should be okay. Okay, let's adrenal armor. Hit him with an execute. Toss out. I really need to upgrade that sword throw as soon as possible. It's just super effective. And you know what? Given the blur that we have, I'll just get myself defended for next turn already. Yeah, don't need to adrenal armor or anything like that, so sure, just base attack. We're still in the circle left in the deck, and that'll get the kill for us. Although if I can ignore pain and then take some pain, we can heal back up to full at the end of the fight. Endless Rage. So this is the card that I was kind of waiting for. When you lose HP on your turn, gain 1 temporary strength. So anytime I use the techniques to gain fatigue, that'll work, right? It'll work off the Adrenal Armors, it'll work off Berserker Shout, it'll work off Lariat, but then Lariat I don't usually cast something afterwards until Lariat is upgraded. It's just I don't want to put too much setup in this deck and not enough execution. And we might already have enough execution such that Endless Rage doesn't really make sense. In fact, I don't think it does here. Was waiting for it the whole time, and now I won't take it. And we'll take the Knowing Skull, though. It's going to be pretty damn effective. Let's ignore pain, and then I guess gain 40 souls, sure. Yay. Still end up taking no damage this turn, right? I forgot that I'd used Ignore Pain somehow. You know that thing that was literally the last thing we did? Yeah, I forgot that we did that somehow. Oh my god. You're gonna give me another turn to just give him the business? Alright, thank you. Thank you muchly. Front dies to the counter there. We have the ability to defend quite simply after that as well. All right. You're going down too. Berserker style. Innate enter Berserker. Berserker techniques grant 2 more fatigue. So thrilled to have that. Refreshment I would also really like? Question mark? I don't really have that much draw. Do want Berserker style though, definitely. Gremlin Horn. Whenever an enemy dies, gain an energy and draw a card. That is really, really good when you're trying to be aggressive. Okay. I think I will pop the Blessing of the Forge here. Use Berserker style. And... Whoa! Knowing Skull got upgraded. But the upgrade does the exact same thing. Now this won't exit our starts for us, so it'll give us the fatigue, which is going to give us more strength before we hit with something else. Eight and 2 coming in. So I can Adrenal Armor, defend, and then just double in circle. For a giant amount of damage out there. Hold firm, sword throw, defend is actually a lot more damage against the enemy than ignore pain, sword throw, strike. And cap it off with a single strike right there. Nunchaku. Perfect to pick up right there. The Berserker combo, 18 damage, 2 vulnerable. No, I don't want Pile Driver. I want the other one. Face Slap. That's the one I want. Right. Berserker combo for weak and vulnerable applied to the enemy. I think we'll be skipping those. Any reason to do this differently? Not that I can think of. Okay. Berserker into Ignore Pain. Then we use Execute. Knowing Skull to gain money. Gain some more fatigue. Oh, being able to just print HP like this is wild. Why? No need to do anything else. Ice Cream would work real well in this deck. Like with many others, to be fair. Got him. Pick up a Swift Potion as well as Focus Berserker. It's a technique. End Berserker. If you end this turn... Sorry, Enter Berserker, rather. If you end this turn with at least 20 fatigue, deal 15 damage to all enemies. I like that a lot. Enchant Shield would also be like a pretty good pickup for the Adrenal Armors, but without getting them on the Adrenal Armor turns would feel pretty bad. I like having a little bit more entry than I really want in the deck. Just so I'm pretty comfortable making sure that I pick it up early enough. Ooh. We will actually end the turn in that with enough fatigue. So sure. There you go. You got us. I also kind of want to just use the Swift for the draw because the rest of this hand is kind of garbo. There's a big Laureate for you. And that's the 16 damage AoE, apparently. I thought it was 15. Double Adrenal Armor. Double Adrenal Armor again. Gonna be vulnerable as well as weak in the next round. At least I'm not gonna be incapable of attacking. Ooh, Ignore Pain's up soon. Okay. One enemy down. 2 enemies down. So Ignore Pain and then Berserker Shout. 3 enemies down and then get back on full HP. third Berserker Shout. This one draws a card as well. Okay. Now I can actually put finishes in the deck if I want them. Just getting 40 souls each fight. Paying for them pretty easily as well. Kind of jazzed about all that. Let's go. Execute there. Murder the backline just a little bit. Just a little tiny, incy bit of complete destruction. And we've got some hold over here. So I guess Berserker Shout for a little more fatigue. Get the damage in AoE. And then try the encircle kill. Didn't kill, but it was still pretty good. I'd still take another Laureate. We've got a Chemical X. They're just hugely valuable. None of those, though. Alright, yeah, we're definitely going for another Elite at this rate. They don't seem to be too much of a problem for us. I kind of want to play the top 3 cards of the deck as well, actually, here. Not really the ones I ideally wanted to target there, but I guess we're okay with them. At least we got one of the chumps off the field. That's good enough for me. If you have at least 20 fatigue, we have 21 fatigue. So 19 damage to all enemies. That's going to hit the back line. All over defend with a blur. Get the front line down. Ah, Ignore Pain. This is a great turn for Ignore Pain, but also, if I just, like, Fan of Knives, Sword Throw, Ignore Pain, Adrenal Armor, I guess. So we did have the full defend anyway. Didn't even need it. Ooh, Penib, as well as another Berserker style? I don't think I need both of them. I got a decent amount of fatigue already. I think we're on a good balance of execution and setup, I guess. Please allow me to hold firm. Okay. Well, if you're not going to allow me to hold firm, I'm going to have to ignore some pain. I hope you know that. I'll take no responsibility for this. This is on you. Focus Berserker. Okay, we'll just Laureate at the end of the turn. I'm not going to use Hold Firm. Definitely enough damage to get that AoE out. Fan of Knives hits them all, encircle, kills them. And it sets up for the Pendant. Iron Fortress. Whenever you enter a stance, gain 3 block and 3 counter. We're not really doing that consistently. Don't need to take any of those, I think. Snake Plant. Takes us to 18. Okay, I guess we do need that then. Plus, it does defend us from the damage we're going to be taking in order to get those souls there. We have really good money now as a result of having picked that up, as well as the ceramic fish. So a shop as quickly as I can get one on the next floor would be very much appreciated, game. If you'd like to provide, I would love to receive. Focus Berserker. Give them some mockery. Maybe defend ourselves a little bit, and then murder. That only just worked out as well. That was going to be pretty rough the turn after. Okay. Thankfully, these orbs ought to be pretty simple for us to take out. Great. I'm actually glad they took something. Because now I claim something back when I kill them all with the Fan of Knives. Could scarcely have worked out better. I'll go for the Hold Firm. Also a Berserker Shout there. Unfortunately drawing into a pretty good card, but still fine with it. Now it's just you and me, friend. Incoming damage 25. We're defended against exactly that already. I didn't even think about it, but the Nunchaku and the Pendant... Wait, hang on. How did the enemy hit me there? 25? I was pretty sure it was 25. Maybe they just broke my block and actually didn't even hit me. The Nunchaku and the Pendib are going to really, really love the double casting of Encircle in this deck. It's going to be super handy for us. Didn't even think about it. I need more finishes in this deck. I don't like that so often I put myself on one and then, you know, just a bad following turn is suddenly lethal. We can block 18, we can block 30, we can not die. Technique 5 times, that's not going to save us. Wow. That's how you're gonna do me dirty like that, huh? There you go. Kind of auspicious. That's exactly what I was just talking about, needing to avoid. And then just one giant Hyper Beam turn. Our defense is decent in this deck. The double Adrenal Armor, the Ignore Pain, Hold Firm, the Lariat. We've got, like, decent defense added into this deck, right? We had a little more setup, maybe, than we ultimately ended up needing. Vicious Mockery was okay earlier. Wasn't necessarily that useful later on, after we had the ability to gain our own fatigue easily. Maybe the card that I said I didn't need, the deal damage equal to your fatigue finisher, maybe that's exactly the card I was missing. Other than that, there was one more opportunity to get a finisher that I turned down, but I turned it down in order to get an entry to the starts. I think it was maybe even Berserker style. But it was the Bring It On finisher. The gain 10 block, gain 10 counter can only be used if you're in defensive or Berserker stance. That would have been really good as well there. Kind of awkward to be dominating everything and then suddenly die, but that's the Berserker build for you for the moment. My name's Rhapsody. The name of the game has been... Don't play Laureate in that position, Raps. I guess you're already doing okay. You don't need to die. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all my content of the game past, present, and future, and hopefully we'll see you next time.